This episode of Large Marge Sent Us is dedicated to Marie Juarez. Thank you so much for donating.
You rock our sweetie socks off. Thank you a bazillion, million, trillion, dillion.
Bajillion.
Matt Dillion. I already said
That's
dillion,
as high as it goes.
wanted to.
Thanks, Marie. Rock.
Thank you. Bye.
So, you the wizard?
No, he is.
This guy? I don't get it. Is he like a poster child for someone?
For your information, butthead, he's headed for the video championships in Los Angeles.
Is that right? Well, let's just see how good he is then. Guys? Pick any game you want. I'm good at all of them. I have 97 of them.
You know all 97 of them?
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your favorite podcast, let's hope, where two sweetie sisters talk about movies that impacted their amazing childhood. I'm Sweetie.
And Sorry. What were you going to say?
For some reason I was going to say followed by and then let you go in, but that's weird.
Oh, yeah, that was very weird. Not ready for that. Anyways,
Hooked it up.
I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
And this is Large Marge
Sent
Sent
Us. Okay, guys. So, this is the final installment of everyone's favorite month of the year, Savage September.
It's the final movie. Fred Savage.
Savage.
It's a good one.
So,
Did we say what it was?
no.
That'd be a good
Long
place
intro.
to start.
Long intro. So, our final movie for this month is The Wizard. This is not one a lot of people know, as we've said many times.
I thought they did. I thought everyone knew except me.
Good. No. Everyone I've talked to has been like, what's that?
Here's what you gotta know about The Wizard. No actual wizards are in The Wizard. I thought it was going to be a movie about a wizard who was like, pew, 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 I'm a wizard, and did like
This is
cool
not
wizard things.
the prequel to Harry Potter.
No,
warning.
that's not what I thought at all. But I think I mixed this up with like War Games or the game that Tom Hanks plays in Big in the ice cave.
Yeah.
I thought it was related to that.
No.
It's not. It's not. So I guess we should start with the Sweetie synopsis.
Sweetie synopsis.
So,
So The Wizard from 1989 stars Avi Fred Savage. Also, and this is a shock to me because I'm actually the one who has seen this film, and when we were watching the credits, I was like, what? This person's in this? Really shocked. So, Christian Slater, Beau Bridges, and Jenny Lewis, who is a member of the band, and I forget the name now.
band?
Yeah.
She's in a band?
She's known as a musician now. She's not an actress anymore.
Did not know that.
I want to say it's not Slater Kinney, but it sounds like that. It's like Rufus Ruffus. No. Anyway.
You look that up. She's also in Troop Beverly Hills,
yeah.
which is another one of our favorites that we will soon be covering.
She's everyone's spunky favorite redhead. Anyway, so 1989, and this movie is all about video games, which is awesome to see all the old video games portrayed. But okay, quick synopsis. Corey Woods is a young chap living in the great state of Utah. He is sort of a mixed family. His half-brother, Christian Slater, full brother, Christian Slater, their dad is Beau Bridges. And then his half-sibling, Jimmy Woods, is some kid with he's on the spectrum. Some problems.
He's on the spectrum, probably.
Possibly has autism from a tragic incident that happened a couple years before. And you don't learn till later what that is. Anyway, Fred Savage / Corey finds out that little brother Jimmy is going to be checked into a mental institute because he keeps running away from home.
And because they just don't know what to do with him. Because all he does is walk around carrying his lunchbox and goes, California. No, but not sung like why. Phantom Planet from the OC theme song.
California.
That's where you were going with that. But
here we come.
Okay. And so that's what he does, right? He just walks around with the lunchbox. Yep. We don't know really
he has lunchbox
why.
With him at all time.
We don't know what's in the lunchbox. Yep. I'll give you a hint. It ain't lunch. So Corey is very upset that they're going to be institutionalizing his brother. He's like, fuck this shit.
No.
I'm getting him out of here. Where should we go? I know. California. So he gets Jimmy. They hop into back of a Hostess truck, get to some general store, walk around. They go to a bus station. They meet a lass by the name of Haley. Who's a real firecracker. Yeah. She is my new hero.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's pretty great.
She's a spunky little, I guess they're 13 maybe in this.
Fred and her little one.
So he's trying to buy a bus ticket because they need to get to California. Finds out a bus ticket to California is like $200.
Which, what?
They have $20.
Is a bus ticket to California even $200 now? From Utah?
From Utah? That seems bizarre.
Why were buses so expensive?
I don't know. It is a long way. Those states are really big out there. So, meanwhile, he's like, tells Jimmy to play this arcade game. What was the game?
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon, which is like a fighting
Also
one.
A really good Chinese food restaurant on the Cape.
Yeah.
What up, Double Dragon?
Advertisement. Sponsor. And finds that Jimmy is like this whiz at playing video games. And that's where the wizard. Yeah.
Also known as
the wizard. You must be a wizard. So they decide, hey, like, Jimmy's so good, there's this video game competition in Los Angeles. We got to take him there. $50,000 is the grand prize. So then they do like a little 2-state road trip. What is that called? Hustling people.
I mean,
with Jimmy's
kind of, but not
video gaming skills.
A hustle, really. It was more just they're just betting. Like a hustle is like you pretend you're not good at.
Well, I guess they just saw the little kid and were like, "You're not good."
I guess, but yeah.
But that's how they get money to go to this video game contest. Video Armageddon, it's called. Meanwhile, subplot.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's a couple.
One is that Jimmy's parents, his mom and his stepdad, have hired what is apparently a real profession in 1989, which is a guy that is hired to bring back kids that run away. He's like a bounty hunter for kids that ran away? I don't know. It seemed a little dodgy to me, but that's what he does. So there's this hooligan out and about. There's Fred Savage's parents, Corey's parents, and his brother, Christian Slater, who are also trying to find him. And they're in like a weird fight against the bounty hunter guy to try to get to them first.
They keep destroying each other's car.
Yeah.
And then along the way, I felt like this was the most random part. Randomly, Christian Slater has like an old Nintendo set in the car, and like everywhere they go, they hook it up, and he starts playing it.
Yeah, they're getting the car fixed, and then the dad finds Christian Slater in the office playing the video games
at the
gas
station.
You just hook that up without asking? What a weirdo!
So weird.
Brings him to the hotel room anyway, but that's because that just shows that video games are great and everybody loves them. Because the dad eventually gets hooked.
Yeah, and he's like, "You don't need a lot of smarts to play that, do ya?" And like so, but then he randomly gets like addicted to it, and then he's like, "Oh, like video games are awesome." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, serves you right. Claps.
Anyway, so they make it to Reno, and they get Haley's dad is a truck driver, so he has all these trucker friends, and they get this trucker friend to play craps for them, and they get all this money, and then they figure out that they have to have Jimmy learn like 97 Nintendo games in 3 days, like be a pro at them. And this is a kid who has never played a video game in his life, and he just plays them, and is instantly as good. That's why he's the wizard.
But then, like, why would he have to learn all that if he's just instantly good? Like, it turns out he really only needed to learn how to play one game. Luckily, it was one that they taught him. So they make it to Video Armageddon.
Along the way, though, I mean, we run into a couple, like, hooligans. People keep stealing their money.
Yeah, some ruffians. There's another kid who's good at video games named Lucas. He's got a douchey power glove that he uses to play this car game.
Yeah, do you remember the power glove?
No, I have no recollection.
I kind of remember the power glove. So the power glove was like almost
nobody had that.
A precursor to the Wii, because you would like put it on and like the Nintendo control was like on the arm part, but then the glove you would like move your hand and it would essentially like move the device. So he was playing like a car game. He's like moving his hand around and the car's moving. I don't know. I remember that very vaguely. I don't think a lot of people had it.
Did you only remember it because of this movie, though?
No, I remember it before.
Well, I have no recollection of that.
Yeah, so he's like a little bit like the video game nemesis.
Lucas. Here's a little trivia snippet. Guess who had a crush on Lucas? Sweetie.
He's cute.
I loved him. You're like obsessed with him.
He had really nice hair and eyes.
So does Fred.
He's also 12.
No, he was probably like 15.
Okay, I feel better about it. Anyway,
Don't worry.
so they make it to Video Armageddon, and Jimmy qualifies.
Yeah.
There's only 3 people that make it.
He does it.
It's him, Lucas, and this really nerdy, ugly girl.
With really long braids.
Really long braids, which is, I don't know, I guess some sort of geeky girl stereotype, question mark. Anyway, so the parents arrive, the private eye, or whatever, the child bounty hunter, runaway bounty hunter, is there too, and he's still trying to get them. So then they're like running around all the park, like blah, blah, blah.
Dude, get a grip.
Whatever.
So the final game in the Video Game Armageddon? No, Video Armageddon. Is the never-before-seen Super Mario Brothers 3, which is probably the best game.
Yeah, well, the best Mario
of all time.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Of that system.
Yeah. It is great. So no one's ever seen it, and this was the first time that it was unveiled, like, in the world, like, in the public eye. Also, like, not just within the characters in the movie, but in real time,
And that was the first time anyone had seen this game, and it had been, like, really hyped, like, this is coming out, this is coming out. And so they unveil it. And so the kids, obviously, in the movie have never seen it either. And so it's the same, like, whoever gets the most points wins.
Mm-hmm. Which is strange, because points are so arbitrary in Super Mario Brothers. Like, who knows where the fuck those come from? I think it should have been whoever beat it first. You know, maybe would have done a really long time. I know, but maybe, I don't know. I just think a better contest. How else would you measure it?
Or how far? Shouldn't it be, like, how far you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So, Jimmy, you know, like, it's kind of a cliffhanger because he dies a couple times, like he loses some lives.
I was really stressed out.
I was freaking out, and I go,
Psst. I was like,
spoiler alert!
Jimmy keeps dying.
He gets the warp.
Oh, phew.
And if you remember from video games, the warp, especially in like Mario Brothers or whatever, you know, you like find some hidden little
flute
thing, and this one was like a flute. And you play it, and then it whisks you off to all these other worlds. So you don't have to beat all these worlds to get there. You just go. So he gets all these points, and he fucking wins.
I mean, I call that cheating, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And his families are like, yeah, he's not, you know, like, autistic or whatever.
He's doing something.
Yeah. He's a winner. And, you know, brings the whole family together, la, la, la.
Basically, all is forgiven that they ran away to California because...
Yeah, but we also did not say why Jimmy is so sad and why he's messed up.
Why is Jimmy
you
so
learn
sad?
Really kind of late.
Tell us.
So Jimmy carries around this little lunchbox with him, and you don't know what's in it until like kind of 3/4 way through the movie. And they kind of are mentioning through this whole movie like Jennifer, like who's Jennifer? And Jennifer is his twin sister who died a couple years ago, drowned in a river right in front of him.
You know whose fault it was? Christian Slater's.
Christian Slater's fault. So it broke the family apart. So Jimmy is like carrying around, I almost said Kimmy. Jimmy carries around that lunchbox filled with like her shoes and these pictures of her and her drawings. It's really, really kind of a sad, like little note to this movie, even though it's really kind of fun. So he really wanted to go to California because the last time the family was happy, they went to, coincidentally, the dinosaur park that is also in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
So exciting.
Which is where in real life? California, but right?
I'm not sure where. We'll have to look that up.
And he goes there and and he just wants to like leave the little lunchbox with all her little memories there, as kind of like almost like her ashes, I guess, to like want to leave her in a happy place. Oops. So interesting dichotomy, if you will, of sad sort of family tragic story, but then this like video game sort of at that time like the big technology, right?
Well, the main message is that video games bring families together.
Yes, that's the
I wrote that down. It is. We used to stay up late all night playing Zelda in the basement. And stop eating my notes, Desmond. That's just the message, and it's great. So yeah, that's the flick.
Sweetie,
did we mention that he wins? Oh yeah, because he got the warp. Yeah. Duh.
So, Sweetie, since you've never seen this movie, what were your thoughts?
Well, I thought it could have used a little more video games.
Yeah. I remember them being more video games.
Yeah.
And the ones that they brought up were like,
There's a lot of traveling montages, a lot of dusty deserts, which I don't love. Deserts bore me the fuck out.
Weird, like, I don't know. Utah, Nevada, California, like,
Yeah, boring.
Some weird hicks kind of thrown in there.
Yeah. I was just, I liked it. I liked when Jimmy started, like, saying real sentences. When he, like, his first real sentence, we were like, oh, we're so excited.
Quit or something.
Oh my god, it's so sweet.
He's really sweet.
Real sweet. Haley, played by Jenny Lewis, is the best.
Yeah,
she punches awesome. Fred, like, twice. It's great. She's just, like, she just doesn't give a fuck about, like, anyone. She's, like, a really big liar.
Independent woman.
Liar. Also a, compulsive liar, where she's just always spouting lies. She's like, I live in a giant house. My dad's a truck driver. And I was like, wait a minute. That ain't right. That can't be right. But you still like her anyways, even though I'm not sure what happens to her at the end of this. She seems to just join their family.
That was weird.
No word yet on her dad, who was supposed to come back from his trucking trip. Also,
so it's so weird. Like, why was she in Utah randomly waiting at a bus station? You learn her mom was a compulsive gambler, and she, like, ran away to gamble or something.
And then she just hangs out in bus stations waiting for her dad to come back.
And has all these weird old men truck driver friends.
Ooh. But don't worry, they have a code, so they don't hurt children.
No. But, she was, like, the best part of this movie for me in this rewatch. She's really funny.
And even Fred, who I love. I mean, Fred was good. He had his moments, but I think he got a little outshined in this, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he really did. And this is really getting to the point where you get, he starts getting a little bit not as cute, you know? He's old. He's older. This is the oldest one we've seen of him.
He's still got his Fred quirks.
Yeah, he's still got his little quirks. And in this one, he's, like, shorter than Jenny Lewis is. But they make a cute couple, and I thought their flirting dynamic was really sweet.
Real sweet. Yeah. But a lot of good. But there were some glimpses of games. Contra came up a lot, which we had, which was a very difficult game.
Yeah,
I don't think we ever got past, like, the second level. But
no. But I wish there was one that we were more familiar with, because it was, like, tons of car racing games, which I don't remember liking at all.
Nobody cares.
And we didn't like the fighting ones at all. Like, which ones? Okay, so from the classic NES. No, just Nintendo was the original
NES.
Console was called?
NES.
NES, okay.
Yeah. Nintendo Entertainment System.
And the original, we had all the Mario Brothers, Contra,
Duck Hunt, which was part of Mario's 1. Also, and
DuckTales?
No, yeah,
DuckTales,
which was another hard one. Nemo's Dream Nightmare. Remember, he's in the bed.
No, that was Super NES. What? Yeah, no, because remember Allie and Kate, our cousins, had that.
I guess.
Yeah.
What else?
I remember the original ones.
Remember that ship one where you had to, like, it was like space. Like a ship, and you had to, like, land it in the thing that was, like, turning around, and you had to, like, to, like, dock it in the station. Yes. It was really hard.
Shoot,
I forget what it was called though.
Yeah, this one. Well, this movie is that it was all arcade games, and, like, I read about how, like, how they did it was, like, the games, the arcade games. NES did have, like, things in arcades where it was, like, something 10. It was, like, Power 10 or something. And they had, like, 10 games in that like, whatever you call those arcade game kind of things. And you could, like, put in your corners and play as many of those as you could, like, before your quarter ran out. I don't remember seeing that, though, ever. I guess we can go to, like, arcades.
We only have the Game Barn, which, as we already mentioned, pretty much just had rock and bowl and skee ball. So...
But then, but also, like, we were really young. I've only been 6 years old when this movie
why
came
would we need to go to an arcade? We had NES.
No, just in terms of, like, how many NES games we had. Because then when Super Nintendo came out, which was the second one, with the rounded handheld
purple buttons
thing. What would you call that?
Controller?
The controller. With the purple buttons.
It's a trick question.
And then we got, like, way more games and way more into it. And the games got cooler. And I mentioned when we were watching this, like, how shitty the like, graphics were in these. Like, they're doing this car racing game, and you can, like, barely see the graphics. They're so bad.
Yeah. Like, it could be a road, or it could be a lake. Yeah. We're not sure.
It was, like, bad.
A little bit bad.
And then after that was Nintendo 64.
Man.
And was that what GoldenEye was in? Or was that any Super
GoldenEye.
Nintendo?
I mean, yeah, that was Nintendo 64.
Okay.
What a good system.
And then is that your favorite one?
Yeah. That's
in 64?
That's
what was
my
Donkey
fave.
Kong in? Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo.
I like Super Nintendo, I think. Wait, when did Mario Kart come out? Super Nintendo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rainbow Road.
Yeah. I think Super Nintendo was my favorite console.
Instead of movie clips, we should play video game songs.
Yes.
Rainbow Road, the spooky one. We made a song up to the music that plays in the castles, or is it the fortresses in Super Mario?
Spooky,
Yeah.
spooky, spook.
So we would go, spooky, dun, dun, spooky, dun, dun, spooky, spooky, spook.
I also want to chat, and this is brought up just a little bit in this movie, Mario Brothers 2 from the original system, which I feel like is so underrated.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
So hard.
It was so challenging, but it was so weird. It's like a trippy Nintendo.
It was fun.
I don't know. It's like
It was fun because you could be you could be Mario, you could be Luigi, you could be Peach, you could be Toad.
That's when Peach started, first became a character.
She was great because she could float. This is why you should always pick Peach in any game that you're in. She's the best in Mario Kart.
She could fly because of her dress.
Yeah, and the second one, she could float because of her dress billowing. Yeah. She just could sail, so it was so much easier to play with her.
So if you remember that one there, you're always digging through a desert, and you'd have to speed dig. Remember, you'd be racing because stuff would be chasing you.
Yeah, those freaky things.
And
then you'd have to get the key, and
then the little warp pipes were these little it was very Arabian themed or something.
Weird.
There was carpets,
and then you had the boss was a dinosaur. Not Yoshi, but it was what was that dinosaur called?
Bowser.
No. Remember it was the dinosaur pooped eggs out of its nose.
Yeah, but it was a bird.
And then you had to catch the eggs.
Yes.
And then throw it back at him.
Yes.
I forget what that bird's name is.
I remember that randomly they sold that game at Stop and Shop. Do you remember this? And we're like, Mom, can we buy it, please?
That's
and they
where we
bought it for us. Yes, I remember the
How
thing
much
that was in.
it?
We spun it around.
Dang.
And I think for Mario Brothers 3, we went to Toys R Us. Remember, it was a big deal when it came
KB
out.
Toys.
Or no, maybe it was KB Toys. KB Toys.
Rest in peace.
In the mall.
Shout out to my homies.
God, I miss toy stores. Are there toy stores still? Where do kids go to get toys?
Toys R Us still exists.
I don't know. I just think it was video games are a whole nother thing now with all the how you can talk to other people and what is it, Call of Duty and Halo and all those crazy ones. I feel like our generation of video games was amazing.
Sure. I mean, Nintendo's still fine. I mean, I only play Nintendo, so I'm kind of biased here. But yeah, I don't buy into all that. Those warfare games, those aren't very fun.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
just like the little quaint ones.
Yep.
And even is Sega still around? Is that still
no
console?
But that was a big deal for a while. People were like, Sega's gonna topple everything.
Well, remember our friends or the people who babysat us had Sega, and I was Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff, and Lemmings, the Newtons.
Oh. Yeah.
And we
Lemmings.
play it and we'd be like, this sucks.
Oh, I thought Lemmings was a computer game. That wasn't on their computer?
That was Sega.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Nemo's Dreamscape or whatever it was called was the bomb. What was that game called? Dreamcatcher?
No.
Look it up.
Shit.
Nemo something.
Yeah.
I loved that game.
Our
It
cousins
was
are gonna kill
so
us.
hard. There's a frog thing. He jumped on it.
No, that's a role-playing game, isn't it?
No, it's a platform game. He's just you just go through the world.
The one where we would make
Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
him.
my God.
I love that one.
That's awesome.
So great. It's a good movie.
Wait, that wasn't the one. What is the role-playing game?
Earthbound.
Earthbound. That's what I'm thinking of.
I have that.
Where we
Bought it.
make funny names for the characters because you would could put in your
Stickle.
own name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Poopy. Thank you for saving
Good.
us. We're classic
good.
sweeties. But yeah, so yeah, this movie definitely brought it back to us, the video game culture. What's your IMDb trivia for this time?
We have another cameo by Sir Tobey Maguire.
What do you mean another?
Well, I have in my notes, I want to bring this up, that this is not the first cameo for Tobey Maguire.
What's the other one? What's the second
Back
one?
to the Future?
No, that
2?
was Elijah Wood.
What? Damn it! That was my awesome thing to bring to the table. cool. Oh, that's funny because when he was on...
I know.
That's weird.
Then I said, oh, it's Elijah Wood.
When he came on the screen today, Andre goes, look, it's Elijah Wood. It's Elijah Wood. And I go, no, that's Tobey Maguire. That's weird. They look kind of alike.
Yeah. No, Elijah had the colander on his head.
Yeah.
At the Back to the Future 2, Wild Gunman.
Okay, so if you kids do watch this, look out. Where's Waldo style for Tobey Maguire?
Giant mullet head at the end. Such a badass. Yep. Although I think I saw him look into the camera a few times. Such a noob.
Yeah. No lines.
No lines.
True cameo.
The highlight of his life, I'll tell you. That was the trivia?
I'm trying to think. I think we brought up most of the other ones, kind of like as we were talking. But
very good.
Oh, actually, no. I wanted to read these. So they had like on IMDb like a list of all the names that this is called in other countries.
Oh, I love those.
And I always think they're just like, I don't know. I just think it's funny that when they show them different countries, they have to title it differently, and some are like really funny. But so for this one, it is Joystick Heroes from Germany, Sweet Road in Japan. That makes no sense at all. The Wizard of Video Games, Italy and Brazil.
That makes a little bit of sense. I would support
Video
that.
Kid, France.
Okay.
The Champion of Video Games, Spain.
Also makes sense.
Game Boy, Sweden.
Someone already has that.
Game Over, Finland.
What?
Good but sad. That's not like anything.
Pessimistic attitude,
awful.
Sweden.
Thanks and in Canada, French language, The Child Genius, which is really too literal.
What was the road one? The Sweet Road? That kind of makes sense because they are on the fucking road all the time. Like, how do they get anywhere? Also, we have this question. How does the child bounty hunter know where they are? And, like, the dad? They're just randomly picking? Are there only 2 towns in Utah? Probably.
Yeah. My one thing, well, 2 things I thought about when, like, your kids go missing like this. Like, if there's no phones and everything, like, whoa, what did you, like,
yeah, what'd you do?
Where did those kids go? Who knows?
Shit out of luck.
And also, secondly, they spend the whole movie hitchhiking, and that movie could never be made today because who hitchhikes, right? Well, I mean, there were 3 kids together, but still, like, terrifying.
People would call the cops or molest them.
No, right. So, like, this is not something you would want to promote these days. Like, hey, kids, hitchhike like hobos.
Sure, different time.
Yeah, no.
Different time, different place.
Barely 80s. This is just the tail end.
And it was like the 90s, the beginning of the 90s. It really was really the 80s.
The fashion is really
living it out.
90s.
But yeah.
Baggy shit, weird stuff on your shirts, ugly patterns.
Yeah, weird writing on shirts. Lucas.
Giant pants. Again, hair. Fred Savage wears these giant pants all the time.
It's just a style. I think in his contract he's like, I will only wear baggy pants. And Fred Savage was all. That's how he still operates today, actually.
He still wears baggy pants?
Yeah, look into it. I have a song I wrote.
Yeah.
In honor of our last our last Savage September.
Nice.
Here it goes. Fred, the 2 of us need look no more. We saw all the movies we came for. With my sweetie and my cat, we watched them all. Yeah, we did. And Sweetie and I will talk about them on the Large March Santa's podcast.
Wow. Was that totally off the cuff?
Podcast. Yep.
Wow.
You bet your bottom dollar, as you can tell, because nothing rhymed. But still a good song.
I was going to chime in on that, but I just want to take away your glory.
It was a difficult key, I'll admit. But yeah, that's my song. Do you have any Fred Savage send-offs you want to send to our friend Fred?
But just as like a summary, I think this was a really good exercise in,
monotony.
Themes on Fred Savage movies. Couple, well, at least the last 2, older brother helping out the little brother. Little Monsters.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
No.
And I was thinking of Fred was the older. I was confused.
I love his like weird little scream that he does.
Yep. Always some kind of daddy issue.
Yeah,
and
that's like
all of them except Princess Bride, which he wasn't really hardly in. But yeah, dads are always crushing the dreams, man. They're like, "What? You want to go to California? Too bad. or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But all of them, and I think continues his, like, I'm kind of an adult in a little kid's body thing, which, like, randomly that is exactly what he played and vice versa, but, like, he was really good at that. Because he's very mature for, I mean, I know he's, like, 13 by this time, but, like,
mature.
This one, when he's, like, traveling across country with his brother, he's, like, building fires.
You were
like,
so impressed with that.
Yeah, I'm like, who knows how to build a fire?
He's probably a Boy Scout. It's
Yeah,
not that big of a
I
deal.
don't know. But he just, like, gets it done. And I just want to say, Fred, like, you
We love
were
you.
awesome. And I know after this movie, you really kind of made your way into television and never looked back. And you really didn't do many more movies after that. But
Now you're back, and we love you so much.
well, he's not doing movies, though.
Sorry. Well, he was, because he was in Austin Powers.
Yeah, well, that's it. Right, but
With the mole on
the
his
mole. I'm the mole.
face.
So, yeah, Fred, I just want to thank you for your talent. You're awesome. And thanks for stealing my face.
Take that.
So, I mean, it's so creepy
It's
watching some of
uncanny.
these movies, and I'm like, dude, if I was a boy, I would be you. If I were a boy, I'd look like Fred Savage.
See, you did have one in you. I knew
I'd
it.
roll out of bed, put on baggy pants, save my little brother from monsters. That's not the tune.
Good song.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's that's the end of
that's the
Savage
wrap.
September. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Starting next month, we'll talk about some real spooky movies.
Yeah, we're getting to the Halloween sense of things, and we're probably going to be doing more than our usual 4.
Oh,
We're going
boy.
to step it up a notch.
Good.
But we'll be releasing updates on our Facebook page and Twitter, so stay tuned.
Twitter is at The Sweetie Club, and Facebook, Large Amount of Santos.
Yeah.
Find us there. Like us. We like you, so you should like us back.
We like you so much. Also, please write reviews.
Write us a review, please, so no one else will listen.
Sick of looking at the one that I wrote.
Laura's one. We have a non-cat review.
Nice.
From our friend, so it still doesn't really count, but still, it's 3.
Yeah, if you're a rando, it's so much better.
Yeah.
If you don't know us, do it.
Please do it. All right, I gotta go. My cat's eating my leg. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.